Hey friends, Tanette here. Yay, I'm out of the house and it's really the only time where I feel like I can, for some reason when I drive, I feel like I can talk and think for whatever reason. Today is the Women's March in Seattle and in other cities around the nation. I didn't even know about it, which really makes me angry because if we want to bring people out, the message has got to get out to the masses. And I'm kind of in the loops of most things that are going on as far as activism goes, and I didn't even hear about it. So I'm totally a little bit aggravated and completely confused. We must do better. We must do better at bringing out the voices and letting people know what's going on. So I don't know how many people are going to show up today. It's at 2 o'clock at Seattle City Hall is where it's going to start. Basically, we're marching for women's rights. RBG just died. Now they're trying to pass this horrible Supreme Court justice on us that is a religious person who is going to try to take away health care and is going to try to take away the woman's right to choose, who's hostile to the LGBTQ community. And we have got to get out there and let the world and the nation know that no matter if she becomes the Supreme Court justice or not, we will not allow our nation to go backwards. There is no way that we're going backwards. And for those of you who want to try to play the morality card on abortion, being pro-choice does not mean you are pro-abortion. Nobody is pro-abortion. Nobody. Nobody wants to have an abortion. Nobody's excited about abortions. Nobody. Not pro-choice, not pro-life, not the person having the abortion, not the person that caused the abortion. Nobody is excited about abortions. And you cannot only single out one piece of humanity if you want to be taken seriously. You cannot be okay with the bombing of multiple nations and millions of civilians, innocent people being killed by our bombs, the United States. You cannot be okay with millions of people going hungry every night. You cannot be okay with rapists being let go. You cannot be okay with police brutality and thousands of people, black, white, brown, poor, being killed at the hands of the police. You cannot be okay with that. And yes, I know that there's other crime out there, but the police are meant to protect and serve, right? They're supposed to protect us. Their first instinct should not be to shoot. Their first instinct should be, what can we do in this situation so that everybody, myself and the person that's standing across from me, gets out of this situation alive. So anyways, I'm no Biden fan. Anybody that knows me knows that I am not a Biden fan. I'm not a Democratic fan as far as the establishment goes. And this right-wing, left-wing narrative being spewed daily in our media and in our households, the alt-right sociopaths against the radical left, and all that entails. All that is doing is deepening the divide. I had a friend today who I care about. I think he's a good person. I posted something about the fact that Trump doesn't want to give any kind of federal aid to California to help with their forest fire situation. And he's like, I wouldn't give a penny to them because they haven't been taking care of their forests. Well, first off, that's a right-wing Trump bullshit narrative. Oh, if we just rake the forest, they won't catch on fire. I mean, come on. That's absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. We have the hottest temperatures on record in the world today. We are going to continue to see forest fires. Whether we rake the forest, whether we thin out the forest, whatever we do. But the thing is that people are they get themselves tied to the federal dollars. They're like, it's my money, right? Well, it is our money in the sense that it is public money, but it's not your money in the sense that it's not your tax dollars that are paying for it. And I don't care if it's Bernie Sanders or it's Nancy Pelosi or it's Mitch McConnell or any of the Republicans. I don't even know them all by name, but no matter what politician talks about federal dollars, your federal dollars paying for stuff, that is a lie. That is a flat out lie. The federal government creates money at will. At will. The budget is a freaking number they pull out of their hiney and decide to spend every year. There's no finite amount of money that can be spent. We're not broke. We don't borrow money from freaking China. Yeah, they sell treasuries, and everybody likes to buy the treasuries. But they don't buy treasuries in order to fund or pay for anything. If something is needed to be done in our nation, whether it be education, paying our teachers, military, paying our soldiers, science, paying for the research and development of a vaccine for the coronavirus, if it is spending on infrastructure improvements for our roads, our bridges, our freaking hospitals, our airports, our wastewater treatment plants, our drinking water facilities, anything that benefits our nation, no matter what state it's in. This is not that state against my state. Well, that's a red state and this is a blue state. We are the United States of America. We are not on opposite sides of each other. We should care about our friends in Arkansas just like we care about our friends in California. And we should care about our friends in Colorado that are having the most extreme temperatures that they've ever recorded. This is not how America is supposed to be. We should care about all of our United States. We are a nation together, right? It's mind-blowing to me. If your neighbor's house is on fire, you don't stand in front of the firefighters and say, well, they didn't have their electricity upgraded, so they ended up with electrical fire, so don't save them, don't put out the fire. We're not spending our money on them because they didn't spend money to maintain their property, right? We don't say, to the police officer or the ambulance that came that's helping the people that just crashed their cars. Well, we're not going to help that car because that guy ran a red light, so screw him. We're not going to help him because he didn't do the right decision. That is not what we do. We have police, we have military, we have firefighters, we have people who know how to build things and do construction, and people that are in medicine and research and development and science. We have the technology to go green. We spend the freaking money. And by spending the money, that doesn't mean that we need to turn around and tax our freaking citizens in order to do that. We don't have to tax anybody a single penny more than they're being taxed today. And in all reality, we don't even need to tax the people, federally speaking, the amount that we're taxing them today. We could reduce the tax on 99% of the freaking citizens. And what would that do? All it would do is put more money in their pockets so that they could spend in their local economies. That's it. No harm would come of it. There would be no need to reduce the spending on the federal level for any program. We can raise Social Security. Social Security is not going freaking broke. All money gets created out of thin air. They all agree. Yeah, I think that really asking our seniors to live on $1,300 a month is a bad idea. So how about we let our seniors live with a little bit of decency and raise their pay to $2,500 a month? How about that? Does that hurt anybody? Does that hurt the Republicans' feelings? The only reason that they're after us to cancel Social Security is because they're working for their freaking Wall Street buddies, and they want everybody to put their money into the freaking Ponzi scheme that is freaking Wall Street. Wall Street is it's a joke. It's a freaking joke. Yeah, you can make money at it. You could totally make money at it. You can totally lose money at it. But it's not real. It's all fake. It's gambling. We don't need to put our citizens' lives, financial stability at the risk of freaking Wall Street gambling. We are a sovereign nation. We can fully fund Social Security in whatever value we want. We could say we're going to give every citizen, when they turn 65 or when they turn 64, whatever the age is, we're going to give them $2,500 a month. And then for those that worked, we're going to put all the money that they paid into it, and we're going to go retroactive and say we're going to pay them a 6% return on that money. They could do that tomorrow. They could backdate, go back. There's a record of every penny that has been deducted from you for Social Security. They could go back and retroactively put a 6% interest payout on all dollars paid in instantly, and do the math and give you a increase in that above and beyond that $2,500 a month if they wanted to. Our nation is so stuck in yesterday and so stuck with what has been done in the past that we can't freaking move forward and improve. It's crazy. Outside of Congress, outside of our government, our businesses don't run that way. Our businesses are always trying to improve. Always trying to improve. How can we give a better product? How can we have a safer working environment? How can we reduce the cost to the consumer? Whatever the deal is, we're always trying to improve. How can we improve efficiencies? Right? Why don't we as Americans start talking about what are we trying to accomplish? Do we want our citizens to have living wage jobs? Do we want them to be successful? Do we want to have clean water, clean, healthy food in abundance? Do we want to have healthy, beautiful streams and rivers and oceans? Do we want to have healthcare as a human right that's a good, high-quality healthcare? Do we want to have enough doctors and nurses and anesthesiologists and dentists and whatever in order to take care of our citizens? Do we want the people, the elderly, to have communities where they can live and function to the best of their abilities when they're going through Alzheimer's and dementia? Do we want our schools to be state of the art? Do we want our teachers to be paid what they're worth? Do we want our class sizes to be smaller? We have the complete and utter control to improve every single condition in America. From poverty to homelessness to jobs to what we're spending our money on. And if there's something that needs to be done, it doesn't have to have a profit motive. Our federal government could give grants to all of the states for their teachers, for hospitals, for roads. Just give them the money. You, Mr. State, you have these needs. You have these many people. We see that these roads are important. We're going to give you the money to improve those roads. We're going to give you the money to give your teachers a pay raise so that you don't have to tax your citizens any more than they're being taxed. We're going to give you additional funds to reduce the class sizes. We're going to give additional funds to improve the structure of your schools and the air quality in your schools. Whatever it is. Our imaginations, we are so stuck in lack and in an I can't do that, that'll never happen, it's not possible. This is negative thinking. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. We can do so much. We could have the most amazing nation. But that would not happen by us reducing spending, by us increasing taxes on the 99%, by us pretending that there's some finite amount of money. We can do better. Learn MMT. Read the book. Stephanie Kelton wrote it. It's called The Deficit Myth. Just start there. Go to YouTube. Listen to some of her lectures. Stephanie Kelton with a K. It's a great place to start. We are on the same team. We all want safe communities, good schools, good paying jobs. We all want freedom of speech. We want the freedom of choice to own a weapon. Nobody on the freaking left is coming for your guns. There are lots of people on the left that own guns. Lots. Yeah, we do think that there should be a little more regulation on guns. That's not unreasonable. Most people think that there should be a little more control or regulation on guns, right? But nobody's coming for your guns. Freaking everybody called Obama a socialist. Nobody on the left is a socialist. The only person that calls himself a socialist, and he calls himself a democratic socialist, which is totally different, is Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders, if you know what he means by socialism, democratic socialism, you know that he means that the federal government should be spending to benefit the people and the nation and the planet. We should not be spending to line the pockets of the oligarchs. That's it. Nothing nefarious. Not calling for canceling freaking capitalism. It's not calling to take your guns away. He's not calling for anything like that. Pay attention. Quit listening to the freaking paid talking heads on both sides. It's time for the people to come together and tell these crazy people in Congress that are not working in our best interests that they work for us. And it's okay to have benefits. It's okay to get health care as a human right. All that's going to do is produce freaking healthcare jobs. It's okay to fully fund education, college, trade school, whatever is going to benefit our citizens in moving forward. All of those dollars spent for educating and training our citizens just helps our nation. That's it. It just helps our nation. We don't need to riddle them with hundreds of thousands of dollars in freaking student loan debt so that they can turn around and benefit our nation by their skills. It's absolutely absurd. And we don't need means testing, Joe Biden. Freaking forgive all the student loan debt because, number one, it should have never been there in the first place. Never been there in the first place. And people that want to go to school, you say, oh, for people that make less than $125,000 a year. Okay? All right. That makes sense. That makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense. It should be treated just like K through 12. College is needed. Trade school is needed. The education, we have fallen behind. Anybody that wants to go to trade school or college should be able to go, period. Done with my rant for the day. I hope that the people start rising up and start paying attention and realizing that for the most part, we want the same things. And these freaking lunatic people in Congress that are trying to pretend like we're broke, they need to just stand down. The jig is up. You just spent trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars with a snap of the fingers to give to your billionaire friends and to the wealthiest corporations in the world. You're not broke. We know that you create money at will. It's time that you start spending the money on our nation, on our citizens that benefit us as a whole.